I'm Jaden. Welcome to my very short tutorial on how to edit your final product. This will be a two-part series. In the first, I will cover the easier and more simplistic iMovie app that you can get on your iPad. And then in the second part, I will cover the more technical but objectively better editing software DaVinci Resolve that is free, but you'll need a computer to use it. But that's for the next part. Right now, we're just going to jump into the project. As you can see, when you click on the iMovie app, there is a screen prompting you to start a new project. Click that and select Movie. From there, you will see your camera roll. Now, you're just going to want to go through and select all of the files that you used for your shoot. Okay, now that I've got all my files, I'm going to select Create Movie. Now you will see a taskbar with all of your shots laid out here for you on the bottom of the screen. Now, there should be two things that stick out to you right off the bat. Thing one is that all of your shots still have the moments immediately before and after the usable take still on them. But there's a slight problem that'll mean we've got to do transitions first. If you look in the space between your shots, you'll see a little box with two triangles pointing towards each other. This is here because iMovie hates you. Those are dissolved transitions, and when you play them, it looks a little something like this. Scene we're doing. Because while they may be nice for a little adventure video or something, they're no good to us here. Unfortunately, in the peak of their madness, whoever made this decided that there's no way to change all the transitions at once. So you're going to have to do them manually, one by one. This is why I recommend that before you start changing your transitions, you should delete any takes you're not going to use. This is done by simply clicking on your media, hitting the delete button. Once you've done that, click the little transition box between the shots and select None. This will just give you a cut, which will be what we're using here. Remember to do this for every one of them. It could be helpful to zoom out like so to see all of your clips. Then you can just go through, click them all over to None to get that normal cut, as I've done here. And now we can actually start editing this thing. First thing you want to do is you want to click on your clips and cut them down to the usable segments. And then you're going to want to go into Actions, and that'll give you the cutting ability. So then you're going to zoom back in, and you are going to find where you start your shot and end your shot. So for me, it's right here. Now, there are two ways that you could cut this. The first way, so you have the edge of your media, and you simply just drag it back into that spot. But I find that's not super accurate, and there's an easier way of doing this. So I'm going to go to the end of this shot now, where you can see me going to turn off the camera, and I'll go to here where the shot ends. I will click the split button, which is right above the Actions button here, giving me my extra stuff, which I can simply delete. Once you have all the clips cut down to size, it's time to reorder them how you'd like. So just tap on and hold the clips to unlock it, which I will be doing as soon as I can zoom out and see all my clips. And what I'll just do is I'll grab this one, I'll hold onto it, and then I can move it around and place it wherever I want to. So this one's going to go right here. Order all the clips in the way you want them to be, and then, boom, you've got something that's starting to look like a film. But you're not quite done yet. There's one more trick up your sleeve that will change this from a collection of shots to an actual scene. That trick being the J-cut. The J-cut is when the audio of one clip slightly carries into the next. Especially for those of you who are doing this project solo, this will make everything so much smoother. So what you're going to want to do is select your clip. So I'm going to select my first clip here. And you're going to hit Detach Audio, which is right above the volume button. And this will give you a separate audio track that is disconnected from your video. So then you're going to want to go to your video clip. You want to zoom in again, probably, because you're going to want to be doing some cutting. And then go to the edge of this. Just cut off like a little bit, like no more than half a second. And you can see up at the top of the screen here how long your clip is. So I'm going to go take this from 6.3 seconds down to 6 seconds. And then, yeah, you just go through and you do that for all your shots. See, what this will do is it'll just have like a little bit of overlap between your clips, which will allow just a little bit of, like you can hear the audio, the last like word or so from the person in the next clip, and it'll make it seem like they're in the same spot. So now when you're doing this, you're going to want to actually like look through and make sure that it sounds good. I'm just kind of going through quickly and shortening it down by a little bit just to cross things out. And then just a couple of last minute little things. You can, as you can see at the bottom of your screen here, you've got a whole slew of options. Like you've got your video speed and your video volume. Personally, I'd recommend just not really touching these, because if you try and speed up your video, it won't look good, and if you slow it down, it also won't look good because it'll be choppy. When they're doing actual movies and they have slow-mo, what they do is they will increase the frame rate of the camera so it's taking more quote-unquote pictures per second, and that will allow better slow-mo abilities. But the iPads can't do that, so honestly, I just recommend not touching the speed. And then for the volume, so you can turn it up, but it'll start sounding, if you go too high, it'll start getting like really like choppy and grainy, and it'll just take your iPad audio quality from bad to worse. So I'd recommend either just leaving it at 100% or not going up like a lot. I mean, you can go up a little bit and it probably won't hurt, but you can go down as much as you want and you'll still be fine, but I'm just going to leave this all at 100%. So the other things we have here are filters. And these all suck. Just don't use these. If you're feeling especially artsy, you might be able to use black and white and get away with it. But all of this stuff like the Blast and the Blockbuster, none of them look good. Just the raw iPad footage is probably going to be your best bet there. And then for title cards. Title cards are just as annoying as everything else in iMovie, because you can put them on just like only the shots that you've already got, and you can edit them. You can say, oh, how do you edit them? Yeah, there you go. So you can just edit them and say Tunis is my title. So I guess I'm making a short film called Tunis, and then it'll change the thing you select. If you want just a blank screen though, because iMovie doesn't want to do that, so just like grab something, put it in front of your iPad camera so that it's all black, and then just record for a few seconds, and then voila, you got a blank screen. Otherwise, you can get like an establishing shot or something to put your title over. Personally, I think that looks a lot better, but yeah, it's your call. And then one last little trick here is at the end of your video, you can click on this settings icon in the top right, and you can hit fade out to black here. Now I like this because it's just an easy way of showing, hey, video's over, and it'll look something like this. Easy peasy, right? So I think, yeah, this concludes part 1 of the tutorial. However, if you have a working computer, I highly recommend that you check out part 2, which will be using DaVinci Resolve. If you can use it, use it. It's so much better than iMovie. So I'll see you all there. And for those of you who do not have a computer, you know all you need to do to crank out an awesome project. See y'all on the flip side.